Hi everyone, welcome to week 4 of EDY646. I can't believe we've already passed the halfway mark. This class is going by so quickly. So to begin with, I wanted to let you know that I have had a chance to look at many of your work with regard to the physical domain checklist. And something that did come up was what to do when you don't observe a behavior. So in this case, when you're using a checklist, typically, if you don't observe something, you don't observe it. It's not that a child can't do something. There's a difference between a child not being able to and something you've not observed. And that's why typically when you do observations, you will do them across settings and you will do them multiple times to make sure you're able to capture all of the skills. So you shouldn't, I think people tend to feel bad that they're checking off not observed, but that's very factual. Just like with other parts of observation where you're writing down observable behaviors, the not observed, again, doesn't mean can't do, it just means not observed. So speaking of observable behaviors, I just want to point out again, as you are doing observations, especially with anecdotal observations, be sure that what you're documenting are observable behaviors. What that means, and I know I overuse this example to death, is if you walk into a classroom and a child has their head down on the desk, the observation that for that may be, I walked in and I saw this child and their head was, down on their desk, their eyes were closed, and their eyes were closed. Rather than I walked into the classroom and the child was really tired. You don't know if the child was tired. There could be a lot of reasons for that behavior. So as you're documenting behaviors, remember, you're painting a verbal snapshot of what you're seeing from that child. For those of you, I'm old, so I remember Dragnet. In the show and in the remake of the movie Dragnet, one of the detectives used to say, "Just the facts, ma'am." And that's really what an observation is. It's just the facts, just that observable behavior. I also would like to ask all of you a favor. When you turn in your assignments, if you can double space them, it's very helpful for me. It just, at reading 27 students' work, double spacing is really just makes it easier on the eyes. So not a huge deal, but if you could double space, that would be helpful. So I've been asked a few questions about your final project. And I just want to make it clear that as far as formatting, you have the exemplars to look at. And one of the suggestions one of your classmates made in one of our meetups was to keep a master file and start your final document as you're doing each chapter. So you would write a chapter, I'm going to give you feedback, you're going to make any adjustments, and then you can take that entire chapter and sort of put it in that master document. You don't need to combine all your references to the end for the final document. You can keep them in each chapter. If you prefer to have a master bibliography, that's fine too. I'm pretty flexible with the formatting. Whatever makes the most sense for you, as long as you meet all the different criteria for the ending assignment. So do it how you need to do it, but start keeping that master document. So as you spruce up each chapter based on my comments and your additional thinking, drop it into that master document. And that way, when you get to week 6 and you have to do your introduction and background and your conclusion, you have the meat of your final project, of your case study, and you're really doing the bookends of the other part. So I think that will be really helpful. And shout out to Nancy for making that suggestion during our during our meetup. Speaking of the meetups, I have had many requests from people to send invitations. We have 2 more of them left. If you would like to join us, it's really nice to be able to chat with classmates. So just throw me an email and I will gladly send you an invitation. We are meeting on Sundays, so it's next Sunday, and then we're going to skip a Sunday because I'm out of town, and then the following Sunday are our remaining meetups for this class. So if you'd like to join us, just send me a message or an email and I will send you a link to the team's link to be able to join us. Now to week 4. We're going to be looking at our next domain of cognitive development. So you are really going to be going deeper into this newer domain. You do have some read, watch, and listens. You're going to be reading an executive summary about executive function. And I know that some of you have already had a lot of great conversations about executive functioning when we were talking about social and emotional learning. but there are parts of executive functioning that really fall more into the cognitive area, thinking things like cognitive flexibility. And then you're also going to be doing your observations on cognitive development. And then there is some information about using standardized measures to assess child development. So those are the materials that you are expected to read for this week. So we're going to continue to have our discussions. You're going to be broken up yet into new groups. This is such a large class. It'll give you an opportunity to get to have a more robust conversation with a smaller group. You will have to reintroduce your child a little bit, but you can use the introductions and background that you used in previous discussions. And then you're going to talk about the work in cognitive development. You're going to draft your chapter as you have in the past. And then you're also going to do an assignment having to do with standardized instruction. And you're going to find a standardized instrument that would be completed on the case study is that you think would be a good idea to complete on this child. Remember, you're not actually required to do the standardized assessment. You're really just going to make a recommendation, and then you're going to write a review of the standardized instrument. If you have any questions about the instrument that you're choosing, definitely reach out to me. I'd be happy to, let you know if I think that's a good choice. Keep in mind that I don't know every standardized instrument there is, so there might be some that I'm not familiar with, but I'd be happy to talk you through it. So that's really what we have going for week 4. As always, I'm available if you have any questions. And I hope that the comments that I've made on your chapters to date have been helpful. And I look forward to seeing your work in week 4. Take care and have a great week. Bye-bye.